Hey, what's up, everybody? I am doing an update, a 1 year update on my Bose Sub 2's and my L1 Pro 16s. I've had them for a year, and of course, I'm very happy with the product. I have been using Bose for 17 years. I've had every one of their L1 systems and their subs. My previous subs were the F1 bottoms and the F1 tops. I'm going to show you right now how I connect my subs. As you can see, I'll always run them this way when I have the four of them. They're always connected side by side. And what I do is, if you see the yellow cable is running over to the L1 Pro 16. So the setup today, so I can show you how they sound, is the L1 Pro 16 is running off of Bluetooth from my phone. The output from the L1 16 goes to the input of the first sub 2. The output from the first sub 2 goes to the input of the second sub 2. And you continue that process. What's coming out goes into the next. What's coming out of the third sub goes into the fourth sub. Volume is at 12 o'clock on all of the subs and on the L1 Pro 16. Hit the power. Polarity on all of the subs is in the plus position. The output is in full on all of the subs. And the line in EQ is on LPF on all four of the subs. That's the setup that I always use. So my subs are daisy chained. You get the full potential, and with one sub, you get 1,000 watts. With two subs, you get 2,000 watts, and so on and so forth. So four subs, 4,000 watts of sub power. One sub, they say, is about 129 dB, but when you put two together, you're adding anywhere from 1 to 3, sometimes a little bit more, depending on if you load it into a corner, off of a floor. You can get up to 6 additional dB. But when you add 2 more, which is 4 subs, you're doubling again. So now I'm getting anywhere between 4 to 8, maybe even 9 extra dB. So from 129 up to 137, 136, somewhere in there on the dB. It might be a little bit more. Again, it depends on how it's loading. Plus, you have to take into account the L1 Pro 16 also has the same sub 2 sub in it. It's just in a different configuration because of the cabinet that the L1 Pro 16 sits in. That in itself is different. So I'm going to reposition my camera to the front, and then I'm going to give you a sound demo from there. Okay, so this is my 1 year update. I just showed you how I connect my 4 sub 2s to the L1 Pro 16. I have 2 of the L1 Pro 16s, but I didn't feel like dragging it out to connect it. I'm running everything from my iPad, sound-wise. So my L1 Pro 16 is getting music from my iPad. This is the general configuration that I use whenever I go out, whenever I do a party somewhere, to get the maximum sound from the subs. Some people ask why I got these subs instead of the traditional 18-inch cabinets. So when you do them, when I did the math and the quality of the sound, the value of the product, and the ease of use for me personally, Bose will win hands down every time. And I say that to say, if you look at the size of this, this is like two 18-inch subwoofers, the size-wise. But this is 4,000 watts of sub power, 1,000 watts of speaker. And when you daisy chain them, the dB, you get a lot more dB for your money. And the fact that they're small. These are 51 pounds a speaker. No 18-inch cabinet is 51 pounds. I'm 57 years old. I need a light speaker. I'm not carrying two 18-inch woofers anywhere. I'm not doing that. The second thing, the quality of the sound to me, and I've listened to other speakers, I've had other speakers. I'm a small portable DJ. I don't do super big events and parties, so I don't need those big 18s. I don't need 21s. Everything is not for everybody. That's just not for me. But the form factor of this setup and the sound quality that you get and the value for the money, if I have to do a small party, I could just take the 16s with the 1 sub 2 in it. If I need more punch, I can grab one of these and I can move it all by myself. If I have to do a bigger party, I can take 2, I can take 3, I can take all 4. But when I come, I know what type of party I'm playing, so I'll make sure I have enough sound. I'll usually take the 2 16s and place them adequately in the room. And the subs, I never have to take them past 12 o'clock. In fact, sometimes I turn them down because the amount of bass coming off of them. I've had other DJs look at them when I'm playing. I had people come to the house when I'm playing or wherever I am, and they always say the same thing. Oh, yo, your system sounds so warm. It sounds so heavy. It's got really, it sounds amazing. And it does. Bose knows what they've been doing. You have to ask yourself, Bose have been doing L1s for almost 20 years. They're line arrays. And they've been doing it for 20 years. Now, all of a sudden, all of the other manufacturers are making line arrays with subs at the bottom. That's because Bose is doing something right. Otherwise, all of the other companies would not have jumped on the bandwagon to try to get a piece of that pie. It's just like looking at Tesla versus other EVs. They're trying to catch up to what Tesla has been doing for years. All of the other speaker systems sound great. None of them have 180-degree coverage like the line array in Bose. I've stood close to other line arrays, and when the DJ turns it up, I have to move because the sound is so piercing that it's disturbing. You can't stand near it. It disturbs the ear. You can stand as close to these as you want when I turn the volume up, and they sound great. So all these little tiny things equal, to me, where my money goes. The craziest part of all of that is the L1 Pro 16 cost me $18.99 a year ago. 2 weeks ago, Bose went up because of the tariffs. Now that is $21.99, that same speaker. These were $12.99 or $11.99. Now they're $14.99. So the tariffs increased the value of my system. Used now, they are the price of what I paid for them new. So I'm not gonna cry about that. So I'm gonna give you a quick demo of the sound so you guys can see what they sound like. I'm not going to play it too loud, but I want you to get an idea of how this really sounds. It's absolutely insane. So for this portion, I'm going to disconnect this and get my iPhone to record because this mic is noise canceling and it's going to cancel a lot of the sound out that you're getting right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get the my iPhone and do a recording from there so you guys can have it all together.
Contemplated often as she pondered the reason for their meeting, and if no chocolate would make you gain extra weight because they almost lasted.
Yo, when I tell you, I have the Bose T4S, which is their mixer. It's a digital mixer. It's definitely needed to isolate certain frequencies in the subs and in the 16s so that you can balance out the power, because right now it playing from the Wi-Fi signal, the Bluetooth signal from the iPad is totally out of control. The amount of punch that's coming out of that. The iPhone is a great camera to video with, because you get a really good interpretation of what it really sounds like. And if you put headphones on and you're watching this video, you'll get an idea. But when I tell you, standing here and what you're listening to, it's just insane. And I only have one of the 16s here. So of course the mids and the high are half of what you would normally get. And I never have them this close. I usually have the 16s at least another 4 feet away from the subs. But when I tell you the punch coming out of these joints for the space, I have had a lot of 18s, dual 18s side by side, and they don't punch like that. They just don't do it. I'm sorry. They don't do it for me. I mean, you like what you like, you love what you love. But this right here, and when you turn it down low, the rumble is like, I've had people at the house and they all say the same thing. Yo, it's very warm. Yo, the sound is warm as hell. That's what they all say. It's warm. It is. It's deep and it's warm as hell. So that's my 1 year review for the Bose Sub 2's and the L1 Pro 16s. Do I recommend them? Yes, I do. Even at the current price, get them before they go up again. With the way the president is right now, they could go up again. But the best part about this, every previous Bose L1 system or sub systems that I've had, before I got the Sub 2's, I had the F1 bottoms and the F1 tops. And when I tell you, I sold the bottoms for $850 and I sold the tops for $750. And I had them for 6 years. And I paid $1,000 or $1,100 for them each. I got most of my money back and then I bought these. I can't complain about the quality. And the person who bought my previous speakers are gonna love them, because I take very good care of my equipment. You can't lose with them. I love them. I love them. But thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I'm out.